Adam Disbrow, Systems of Duality, Consciousness, and the Architecture of Balance. There are artists who decorate walls, and there are artists who interrogate systems. Adam Disbrow belongs firmly to the latter. Across nearly a decade of exhibitions, spanning physical galleries, international institutions, and native digital platforms, Disbrow's work has remained unusually consistent in its central concern, the structure of opposites that define reality itself. Life and death, sacred and profane, material and immaterial, physical decay and digital permanence. This is not aesthetic ambiguity for its own sake. It is system analysis, rendered in pigment, metal, and symbol. In that sense, Disbrow's work aligns naturally with system update, a project concerned with balance, inversion, feedback loops, and the reconciliation of opposing forces inside modern economic, technological, and cultural architectures. Art as a diagnostic tool. Disbrow has described art as a mirror, not a didactic device, but a reflective one. His paintings do not instruct, they expose. Art can reveal the unseen elements that define us individually. That statement is deceptively simple. In practice, his work operates like a diagnostic scan of consciousness under pressure. Layered surfaces, built from varying sheens, textures, metals, and repeated symbols, force the viewer into a relationship with contradiction. You are never allowed to settle fully into one interpretation. This is deliberate. Systems break when they pretend contradictions don't exist. Disbrow's paintings refuse that lie. Duality as structure, not theme. In System Update, we often describe reality as a push-pull system rather than a linear one. Disbrow's work embodies this principle visually. Sacred and profane. Gold appears repeatedly, not as luxury, but as paradox. The gold square is neither purely holy nor purely material. It is a content generator, a symbol that only becomes meaningful through context. This mirrors how power functions in modern systems, neutral in abstraction, moral only in application. Life and death. The recurring heart motif, rendered in red, white, or black, functions less as a romantic symbol and more as a state machine. Red, mortality. White, immortality. Black, death. This triad echoes systemic cycles found everywhere: expansion, stasis, collapse. No state is permanent, no condition exists in isolation. Physical versus digital. Disbrow's use of genuine silver leaf, chosen specifically because it tarnishes, stands in direct opposition to the permanence of digital artifacts. This is not nostalgia. It is critique. In an era where digital representations are immutable and endlessly replicated, physical decay becomes a form of truth. Entropy is not a flaw. It is evidence of life. Symbolism as system language. Disbrow's symbolic vocabulary is unusually disciplined. Each recurring element functions less like a metaphor and more like a variable. Single square with line through, a quanta, a building block, a unit of consciousness. Comparable to a photon or electron, small, indivisible, foundational. Multiple squares with a line through. Perspective itself. Consciousness bound to context. Reality as viewpoint dependent. 3 jagged lines. An electromagnetic field, energy rather than matter. Force without form. Cogs of creation, 3 circles. Mind, body, soul. Trinity across cultures. Interlocking systems that only function together. Binary sequences and equation of creation. 1/10 to 10 over 1 equals 11. Created reality expressed mathematically. not mysticism, structure. This is why his work resonates so strongly with systems thinkers. These are not decorative symbols. They are interfaces. Alignment with system update. At its core, system update argues that modern breakdowns, financial, cultural, political, stem from imbalances that have been ignored too long. Push without pull, extraction without regeneration, control without feedback. Disbrow's work visualizes the same failure modes. Consciousness caged inside the body, barbed wire. Language as both connector and weapon, tongue on a string. Legacy as crown, earned, not inherited. Creation as cyclical, not linear. Fountain, gyre, trinity. Where system update uses markets, history, and technology, Disbrow uses surface, symbol, and contradiction. The underlying philosophy is the same. Stability does not come from eliminating opposites. It comes from holding them in tension. Selected works and critical contexts. Traditional art spaces have often framed Disbrow's work through the lens of contemporary expressionism, noting the lineage from figures like Edvard Munch and Jasper Johns, particularly in the evolution of tactile symbols such as forks and spoons, which in Disbrow's hands become signifiers of sensation, desire, fertility, and embodied experience. Critics have also highlighted his layered construction as a method of time compression, each painting acting as a palimpsest of decisions, revisions, and reversals. This mirrors how history itself accumulates, not cleanly, but through overwrite. In digital contexts, super rare, object, nifty gateway, the work takes on an additional dimension. The same symbols that decay physically become fixed digitally, forcing the viewer to confront what permanence actually means. Why this matters now. We are living through a period where systems are visibly straining, economically, culturally, technologically. Art that merely reflects surface chaos misses the point. Disbrow's work goes deeper. It asks harder questions. What is consciousness inside a mechanized world? What survives when medium changes but meaning doesn't? What balance must be restored for systems to endure? These are not art world questions. They are civilizational ones. Closing thought. Adam Disbrow is not documenting collapse. He is mapping structure. And structure is what allows renewal. In a time obsessed with speed, extraction, and spectacle, his work insists on something older and more difficult. Balance, yin and yang, push and pull, creation and decay. Not as aesthetics, but as law, ICT.